Good morning, Oklahoma, and thank you for joining us this week on Cow-Calf Corner. Our topic this week is it's the time of year when we're typically selecting out of our yearling heifers for what we're going to retain to be our next generation of cows. And for a long time, we've known that the best practices or the general rule of thumb that we follow is that over 90% of 14 to 15-month-old heifers that have reached 65% of their mature weight are going to be cycling and ready to breed up quick when we go into breeding season. That's a rule of thumb we've followed for a long time, and it's a really good rule of thumb. But we've had some unique circumstances in Oklahoma in the past 7 or 8 months, namely very little moisture, and that wheat pasture and cool season grass that has typically been so good to develop our replacement heifers on has been in poor shape or sorely lacking as a result of not much moisture. So we want to address a couple of alternatives and kind of realize that all is not lost if we go out and look at our replacement heifers right now. Let's say we're eyeballing those yearlings and trying to make those decisions, and we realize those heifers really aren't there yet. So a couple of alternatives. First, research tells us that those heifers at 14 to 15 months of age that are about 55% of their mature weight, about half of them are going to have reached puberty and are going to be cycling and having fertile heats. Now, if you're ready to start breeding season and you find your heifers at that point and they're a little short of target weight, you can adjust your numbers up, keep more heifers than you normally would, maybe up to twice as many. If you follow through on that plan, be prepared to preg check as soon as possible once you pull bulls and end breeding season. And those can still be marketed, those open heifers can still be marketed as yearlings at that point, and you're going to end up retaining those ones that bred up quick for you. A second alternative, if your breeding season is still 30 to 60 days off, there's plenty of evidence over the years, research tells us, that heifers that have gained as little as a ½ pound a day for about 5 months after weaning, that we can feed to gain up to about 2½ pounds a day for the 30 to 60 days going into breeding season and get them to those target weights and still have optimum reproductive performance and breed up on those heifers. In some cases, we can even do that more economically efficiently than growing them steadily all the way through. If you find yourself in that situation and you're going to be feeding on those heifers a little harder to get them to target weight, I recommend an ionophore. It's a good way to get an additional 1/10 to 2/10 of a day average daily gain in those heifers to help them reach that target weight even a little more easily. So that's our management considerations on replacement heifers for this week. Thanks for joining us.